Good evening, I'm Ian Hannamansing. Canadians seize the last long weekend of summer, but are we doing it safely?
One perfect love, brother.
Why we'll be likely seeing another rise in coronavirus cases soon.
There's always been this 2-week kind of afterwards where we start seeing a growth in cases.
The message is we're not out of the woods yet. A doctor weighs in on how to get that message through.
We are completely trapped. There's fire on all sides, all around us.
As fires rage across California, hundreds of trapped campers are rescued. Catching a wave and a new perspective.
I feel confident because I know what I can do out there.
There aren't very many black surfers in Nova Scotia, the people trying to change that. This is The National. Millions of Canadians have been out enjoying their last summer-long weekend, but with COVID-19 numbers rising, there are concerns that some people are letting their guard down, especially young people. Normally, a crowded dance party on the beach is just a sign of summer fun, but in 2020, it's become a symbol of flouting pandemic rules. Health officials warning again and again, close contact, alcohol, and coronavirus are a bad mix. Talia Ricci looks at how Canadians are responding this long weekend.
Labor Day weekend signals the end of summer for many Canadians.
We're relaxing, having lunch together.
Health officials hoped people would enjoy it by maintaining social distancing and sticking with people in their own bubble.
Anything that anyone can do individually to reduce the risk to themselves to transmission is really important for Labor Day.
But that wasn't the case at this Toronto beach Saturday night. People partying without masks, no social distancing, and dancing in tight quarters. The majority of Ontario's cases continue to be in Toronto, Peel Region, and Ottawa, with outbreaks at weddings and a Toronto church led by a man who has serious doubts that health measures are even necessary.
You expect me to stand here and use this to talk?
At least one expert says there's been a spike in cases associated with all of the long weekends this summer.
There's always been this 2-week kind of afterwards where we start seeing a growth in cases. The September long weekend is no different other than the fact that we get a bit more mobility amongst people.
The trend is in Canada in particular is that people are traveling within 500 kilometers of their home.
A trend noted by an uptick in Airbnb bookings. Dr. Zhang Chagla warns enjoying that last slice of summer outside of the city also comes with risks.
When you're at the cabin, you're sleeping in the same accommodations, you're sharing a lot of the same objects, you're pretty much in each other's faces.
Case numbers have also increased in other provinces, with a rise in COVID-19 impacting young people.
I'm not super worried. I guess I'm just a young millennial. I don't think I'll be affected that much.
We don't want it to prevent us from, enjoying basically our lives.
Before the weather cools down and a potential second wave brings people indoors again. Talia Ricci, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, whether it's COVID fatigue or maybe just overconfidence, it's clear not everyone is listening to safety messages. So how do we get that message through to Canadians, especially young Canadians? Joining us now, infectious disease expert Dr. Alison McGeer. And how can we better reach people in their 20s, Dr. McGeer?
Well, I actually think that public health is doing a remarkable job of reaching people in their 20s. Yes, we're seeing an increase in cases, but it's not a dramatic increase, and that means that almost everybody is listening, even people in their 20s. We just need to keep it up.
And yet we definitely hear people frustrated saying that maybe we should get the police handing out tickets and break up groups. It sounds like you don't believe more tougher enforcement is necessary.
So I'm in the Bonnie Henry school of thought. I really don't think that more enforcement much of the time is going to help. This is about us being in this together and working together on this. We've seen that being remarkably effective. And I think most of the time we don't need more enforcement. We just need more messaging.
Well, lots of people in the Dr. Henry School, that's for sure. Dr. McGeer, really nice having you on the program.
Pleasure to talk to you, Ian.
Let's take a closer look at Canada's COVID-19 situation by the numbers tonight. BC and Alberta not reporting today, but Manitoba up slightly with 29. Ontario reporting more than 100 new cases for 11 straight days now, 158 today. And from Quebec, more than 200 new cases for the first time since June. Quebec was one of the first provinces to reopen schools. There have been COVID-19 cases among students and teachers, but the province says it is under control. As Jayla Bernstein tells us, the rest of the country is watching closely.
It was all smiles on the first day of classes in Quebec, but now the province is reporting 46 schools have cases, and it could be more.
We need correct information, but we also need it as quickly as possible to move on it as quickly as possible, simply because, in this case, time is cases.
Dr. Matthew Outen is one of 150 doctors and scientists who signed a letter to the Quebec government, calling its back-to-school plan inadequate. In Quebec, students only have to wear masks in common areas, not while sitting in class.
The rest of Canada is going to be watching what's happening in Quebec very closely, and as I had mentioned before, I'm hoping they're going to watch us and learn what to do correctly, how they can emulate us, and not watching us as a cautionary tale.
In Alberta, 3 schools have already reported COVID. One Saskatchewan school is switching temporarily to online learning because a teacher tested positive. But Ontario's education minister says parents shouldn't worry about what's happening in other regions.
We have unique differentiators in this province that they do not. I wouldn't draw a parallel. Not all things are equal.
Those assurances aren't comforting to the teachers, who are worried about the risk to themselves and their families.
I've had to try to think of ways that I come home, I go straight to my room or straight to the bathroom, take a shower, and then come see my family. Like, I can't just go and say, hi, how are you?
It's a matter of fact, experts say, that some schools will have cases of COVID. The thing to watch is, does it spread?
I think it's going to be very hard to keep it out of the schools. But once it's introduced into the school, can these protocols prevent the disease from being transmitted from person to person? And obviously everyone's hoping that it can. It's just unclear at this point how robust these protocols are.
If individual cases become outbreaks in schools, that's when there's a problem. Jayla Bernstein, CBC News, Montreal.
Around the world, other countries are struggling to contain COVID-19, especially India, set to overtake Brazil as the second most affected nation.
And I think it's very, something to dwell upon, something to worry about it.
India set a new world record today with 90,632 new cases, with 4.1 million confirmed so far. Medical experts say this surge is due to increased testing as parts of the country see a second wave. Britain, too, is having a new spike.
We can use and we will use local lockdowns if that's what's necessary. But the first line of defence for everybody is to follow that social distancing.
The UK reported just under 3,000 new COVID-19 cases today, figures not seen in 4 months. The majority of them young people, a trend we're seeing more and more around the world. The British government also saying hospitalizations and deaths remain low. Customs and Border Services Canada reminding people ahead of the long weekend that the U.S.-Canada border remains closed to non-essential travel. CBSA reports more than 18,000 people have tried to cross into Canada since March and return back. Most were U.S. citizens, many hoping to shop, sightsee, or visit friends or family. On the other side of that border, the presidential campaign is set to intensify this week, and with the election roughly 8 weeks away, Paul Hunter tells us things are bound to get especially nasty.
This is for Trump 2020!
And so it is in the race for the White House, the home stretch. Finally, celebrated this weekend with Trump-flagged boats racing along rivers in multiple states. And though things didn't go well for all of them, a handful somehow sank in waters off Texas, it's clear the Donald Trump and Joe Biden campaign machines are geared to go for what promises to be an ugly, divisive, potentially violent contest. This week comes the latest tell-all book on the president from Trump's one-time personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, now a felon, convicted of campaign finance crimes and of lying to Congress. Now warning Trump will do anything to win.
I believe that he would even go so far as to start a war in order to
prevent himself from being removed from office.
But the talk this weekend is all about American wars past, with multiple reports that while on a visit to Europe in 2018, Trump privately called U.S. soldiers losers and suckers for being killed in action, putting Trump loyalists today on defense.
This president supports the military in an unbelievable way. He's created more funding to rebuild the military. That was one of the things he campaigned on, and he delivered.
Then there's the suggestion lately by Trump of a fast-tracked COVID vaccine by November, a potential boost for Trump's bid at re-election, said the Biden campaign today on its likely safety.
I would not trust Donald Trump. I will not take his word for it. He wants us to inject bleach. No, I will not take his word.
As the race now begins in earnest, Donald Trump is lagging behind in most polls. Then again, that's roughly where he was this time 4 years ago. Paul Hunter, CBC News, Washington.
Unrest over police brutality continued this weekend with one protest hitting a milestone.
Get back! We need broken work!
Portland, Oregon has marked his 100th day of demonstrations. 2 people were hurt, one by a firework. In Louisville, Kentucky, protesters facing off with police and their supporters outside the Kentucky Derby. And after an estimated 1,000 people marched last night in Rochester, New York, the city's police chief said some of them were outside agitators. And Jacob Blake, shot by police, has spoken publicly for the first time from his hospital bed.
Your life, and not only just your life, your legs, something that you need to move around and move forward in life, could be taken from you like this, man.
Blake's spinal cord was severed when a Kenosha, Wisconsin police officer fired 8 bullets into his back last month. The shooting led to several nights of protest. In Oshawa, Ontario, at a memorial, supporters, neighbors, and friends gathered to pay respects to a family nearly wiped out in a horrific murder-suicide. Aaron Broman has the scene, the shock, and the search for answers.
A memorial outside the scene of the shooting has been flooded with visitors, many of them students. Chris Traynor, who was killed, and his wife Loretta, who survived. Both beloved high school teachers.
He's amazing. Made every class fun. All of our classes were games.
I think it doesn't feel real. That
it doesn't feel real at all.
Something like this could happen to such a remarkable family.
Their 4 children, Sam, Brad, Adelaide, and Joseph. Sam wasn't home the night of the attack. He was the only child who survived. Joseph was the youngest and played baseball with his dad.
He was nice, very caring, easy to get along with. His dad was one of the coaches.
What was he like as a coach?
He was very nice, funny. Yeah. It's sad.
Adelaide, just entering high school.
She was a fun girl. She was always smiling.
Always happy.
Yeah.
Positive person.
And Brad, close with Peter Gregory and Claire Dennis.
You take a high school and he's the best trait of everybody in that school. Like he's like the most stand-up guy.
Every time you saw him, he had a huge grin from ear to ear on his face.
Yeah, the biggest smile, the brightest smile in every room.
Loretta's brother, 48-year-old Mitchell Lapa from Winnipeg, allegedly drove to Oshawa and allegedly turned his gun on the family and then on himself. Winnipeg police are assisting Durham police with the investigation.
It's devastating.
It is. It's like things like this just boggle my mind. Like, why?
A question reverberating across the country. Loretta Traynor is recovering in hospital. Countless friends and strangers keeping her and her remaining son Sam in their prayers. Gregory and Dennis started a crowdfunding site.
And I'm just glad everybody's come together as a community.
Yeah, I really can't find words to describe this feeling. It's just so tragic.
Gone way too soon. As you guys can see, they're loved. This is only gonna grow.
As is support across the country for the mother and her son. Aaron Broman, CBC News, Winnipeg.
And police are investigating after a stabbing rampage in Birmingham, England.
3 had suffered critical injuries, and sadly, 1 man had lost his life.
8 people were stabbed in 8 separate locations across several city blocks, seemingly at random. Police say there's no sign the crimes are linked to hate, gangs, or terrorism. The suspect is still at large. Up to 1 million people marched in the streets of Minsk and other cities in Belarus nearly a month after the election of longtime President Alexander Lukashenko that was widely seen as fraudulent. Protesters, clearly undeterred by arrests at the hands of police and beatings by armed men in civilian clothes. Super Typhoon Haishen, one of the most powerful storms on record to hit Japan, is hammering the country south with winds of up to 216 kilometers an hour. Nearly 2 million people have been ordered to flee potential flooding. Officials are urging more than 5 million others to do the same. The storm is expected to hit the Korean Peninsula next. On this side of the Pacific, California set a new record for destruction by wildfires. More than 8,000 square kilometers have been consumed this season. That's the size of 10 New York cities, as one fire captain put it. Today, there was a dramatic rescue from the Sierra National Forest in California's Central Valley. The fast-moving creek fire cut off the only road to a popular recreation site and trapped more than 200 people. Briar Stewart shows us how they made it out.
I wanted to show you if we make it out of this, what the Mammoth Pools. We are completely trapped.
For Jeremy Remington and more than 200 others, the long weekend camping trip in California's Sierra National Forest became a hellish nightmare when the only road out became engulfed in flames.
Well, we have no cell phone reception, and supposedly there's nobody coming.
But help did arrive. Hours later, a Chinook helicopter landed. Through the night, the National Guard airlifted campers out.
I can't believe we made it out alive, actually.
And today, Remington told CBC News that he was on the last flight.
And so we could see out on both sides. It was just devastation. Everything as far as you could see was burned. It wasn't just like a little fire. It actually looked like Armageddon or something.
All of the campers at the recreational site were airlifted out, but dozens were injured.
They were doing what they could to rescue themselves and make themselves safe, some of which resulted in injuries, including broken bones, lacerations, scrapes, bruises, those kind of things.
Just keep going. Throughout the forest, others were also forced to flee. Just keep going. The fire, known as the Creek Fire, started burning Friday night and grew rapidly. By Sunday afternoon, it had burned more than 180 square kilometers. It's one of several currently burning through the state. 15,000 firefighters have been deployed, and some residents are doing what they can.
I fought fire for about 2 hours, kept it away from our house. The whole time I was fighting fire, I was petrified.
In the past month, California has seen unprecedented fires, and with temperatures near 49 degrees Celsius in some areas this long weekend, the weather won't help crews contain the fires already burning. It will only increase the risk that others could ignite. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.
Today marks a landmark anniversary in Canada's rocky relationship with Indigenous peoples. It is a quarter century since the Ipperwash crisis, a national flashpoint over land rights that claimed the life of Dudley George. The intervening years have seen some positive steps in the name of reconciliation, but as Ellen Morrow tells us, the fight over territory that Dudley George began is far from over.
He was always making everybody laugh.
For Carolyn George Mandoka, even the happiest memories are painful, dragging her back to the night her brother was killed.
That was a great big trauma in my life, and it's led me to not be trustful of policemen. I can see them and just go right into a panic.
Dudley George was shot by an OPP sniper in a nighttime raid 25 years ago. He was part of a group occupying land in and around Ipperwash Provincial Park, land taken from the then Stony Point First Nation for use as a military training base during the Second World War. The government's promise to return the land after the war went unfulfilled. Chief Jason Henry was just 15 years old at the time of the standoff. The pain of that day and decades of loss, he says, lingers.
We've lost so much. We've lost language, we've lost culture, we've lost identity. And that is due to the loss of land.
A deal was reached to return the land in 2015, but it's still covered with unexploded bombs that will take decades for the Department of National Defense to clear. Still, there are dozens living in the old military camp, self-described land defenders like Pierre George, Dudley's brother.
You had electricity.
A power cord. That's it.
And no running water.
Nope.
He and others here coping with dilapidated housing and hardship to be on the land his brother died for. Pierre drove Dudley to the hospital that night.
He had a hole right around here, one in his leg. I had my moment. But I can't help it.
Chief Henry says there are plans to build better housing in partnership with the government. He's optimistic, but cautious.
Trust is easily lost, and we've had a long time of not having trust with Canada. It's very difficult to regrow that.
No one knows that more than Carolyn George Mandoka.
The government was supposed to give it back, and I guess they just supposed we would just forget about it. You don't forget about it, but especially when it's your brother that's died to get the land back.
Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Kettle and Stony Point, First Nation.
The pandemic kept one Ontario couple apart for most of the year until today.
Hi, hubby. Hi. Oh my God, I love you.
Their reunion 9 months in the making. What it's like to finally be home. Plus starting university during COVID-19.
It is still nerve-wracking because it's a big university, and I feel like if one person gets it, it can spread very fast.
We check in with students ahead of a fall semester like no other. And cheering on the Saskatchewan Roughriders without the big game.
We drove from Saskatoon to Regina to check out the fan drive-through event.
How a cancelled CFL season is still bringing these fans together for a Labor Day tradition. We'll be right back.
Our Rub A535 lab tests all sorts of pain, like back pain, oof, and injury pain, owie, even muscle and joint pain. Ah, that's better. Whatever the pain, there's Rub A535.
As you head out into a new day, Lincoln is here to make it a bit more effortless, immersive, comforting, intuitive, and beautifully catered to you with thoughtful attention to every detail. And confident, knowing you'll be welcomed like family at the Lincoln Employee Pricing Event. On now until September 30th. Find Sanctuary and your price at lincolncanada.com.
This commercial is for the Pazants, for the Ho family, Sophie and Philippe, for the Kurzaks, the Bushers, and the Flanagans. All the home hardwares across Canada. Local, family-owned businesses who support the specific needs of their community.
Keeping people apart, whether through physical distancing or quarantine, has been a familiar feature of the pandemic. Tonight, a case of extreme COVID-19 separation with a happy ending. Natalie Nanowski brings us the story of a Windsor, Ontario couple's reunion many months in the making.
Hi, Happy. Hi. Oh my God, I love you. Oh.
A tight embrace after months apart. Kevin and Kira Norris have been on opposite sides of the world since January.
To be alone 9 months, actually. 9 months, you know, we are apart. Oh, it's so hard. That's
Good thing you have true love.
The Windsor area couple does everything together, including traveling to China every year to buy products for their business. This time, Kira went first. Then the pandemic hit, and Kevin couldn't join her. Weeks passed, and Kira couldn't come home.
So when her flight was due back, that's when it got canceled, and every 3 weeks they rebooked it, and then it was canceled again. So 7 times it was totally canceled till now, finally.
Yeah.
It was an emotional 9 months. Usually, they'd spend their days hiking together. Those dates were replaced with frequent video calls and phone chats.
Oh, every day.
Every day.
Oh, yeah, because keep
every
that
day,
connection strong.
You know.
While Kevin was at home in Ontario, Kira was stuck in a city outside of Beijing, where she spent the peak of the pandemic with her parents.
You have to wear the mask when you go to those public places. You know, public place, a lot of people there.
Every few weeks, she'd pack her bags and head to the airport, hoping to catch a flight back to Canada. After all the letdowns, they weren't sure she'd make it to Toronto today.
Even after the travel, like I just got so pumped up because the last 2 weeks it didn't get canceled. I'm thinking, okay, finally. Then it got down to a week, and I'm like, okay, it's got to be for sure.
When she finally walked through the airport, it was a relief. Now they'll spend the next 2 weeks quarantining together. And for them, that sounds like bliss. Natalie Nanowski, CBC News, Toronto.
More than 9,000 Canadians have died after contracting COVID-19, and we've been bringing you some of their stories as told by their loved ones. Tonight, a daughter remembers her father who died back in April.
My name is Leah Salvage, and I lost my father, George Dimitrov, to COVID-19 on April 12, 2020. He was 69 years old. My dad was a big personality who didn't go halfway on anything. He was the chief psychologist at the Catholic School Board in Peterborough, Ontario, and in his retirement, he developed a passion for photography and travel. My dad grew up in East York, getting his undergraduate degree at York University and completing a joint master's and PhD at the University of Toronto. He met my mom in grad school, and they moved to Peterborough. Although we knew about my dad's job growing up, it wasn't until after his death that I realized how much his work impacted people. He was deeply involved in community work for children at risk for abuse, and was involved in many crisis emergency situations with the school board, dealing with things like school shootings and student deaths. Growing up, my dad loved traveling. He and my mom took my brother, my sister, and I all over the country in our super old pop-up camper. When he and my mom retired, he took traveling to a whole new level. Combining it with his passion for photography, they traveled to Morocco, Russia, Peru, and Greece, and so many places that I couldn't keep up. My dad loved posing for pictures. He would say it was proof that he was there. I don't think as kids we made it very easy for the photographic detours and posings that he would have liked. I remember on an epic camping trip to the West Coast, we foiled his plans for a picture of Mile Zero. It was all he talked about. 15 years later, he finally got that picture. Now that he's gone, I'm just starting to understand just how important having those memories are, and I'm so thankful that he was able to capture them for us. I think the things I'll remember most about my dad are his sense of humor, his commitment to family, and just how much he enjoyed being a grandfather.
Throughout the pandemic, we have been gathering these stories of Canadians who have died after contracting COVID-19. You can find them at cbc.ca/remembered. Still ahead, universities welcome students for a very different kind of school year.
But what I'm trying to do right now is convert my basement space into a little working space for me.
How the incoming class feels about their first year after graduating from high school during the pandemic.
I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm hopeful, but I don't really know what it's going to look like yet.
You might remember back in May, I spoke to 3 graduating high school students about canceled classes, virtual proms, and what they were expecting in the year ahead. Now we're checking in with them again as they get ready to begin university. Campus life in a pandemic. 3 students, 3 provinces, and at least one thing in common: uncertainty.
I'm trying to convert my basement space into a little working space for myself.
Arsha Uppal is from Surrey, just outside Vancouver. She's starting at the University of British Columbia, but will be doing her classes from home. Logan Pipes from Amherst, Nova Scotia is headed to Mount Allison University in nearby New Brunswick for mathematics. All of his classes are online, but he's choosing to live in residence.
Nice!
Today's the day that I'm packing, getting ready to move into London.
And Madison Francoeur is from Barrie, Ontario. She's going to Western University. She'll be on campus in London, Ontario. Her class is a mix of online and in person. I spoke with them a few days ago and began by asking Madison how she felt about the big move.
I'm a little bit nervous because I am very close with my family, so moving away for me is a big deal. I think I'm really going to miss my family, but I think it's a good step for me. It's going to be a new adventure. I'm not sure how everything's going to go because of COVID, so residence this year is very different than what it was last year, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Logan, from Amherst, Nova Scotia to Sackville, New Brunswick, you're spanning provinces, but it's only, what, about 15 kilometers? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's not super far, but it'll be good to get out of the house. I'm excited to take on a new step of independence. It was a little daunting at first, thinking about leaving this place, this home that I've been in my entire life, but knowing that my family is here is something to keep in the back of my head.
Arsha, you made the decision not to go into residence. You're going to be at home, not too far from UBC in Vancouver, but still at home. Why?
Yes, I've always really wanted to live on residence, but since everything is online this semester, it didn't really make sense financially because everything's online and I live so close to UBC anyways. Also, the factor of none of my friends living on campus also played into my decision. But what I'm trying to do right now is convert my basement space into a little working space for me. And so I'm really excited to have that space because it's sort of going to be like my version of a dorm, but I'm not going to be at campus.
From an academic standpoint, how do you feel about just having classes online only?
Yeah, I mean, just for me, I've always dreamed of that university experience, just like being part of big lecture halls and just like meeting new people through like study groups. So not having that for first semester is going to be a little bit difficult, and I feel like I'm going to lose a little bit of my motivation just staring at a computer screen. But I mean, I'm going to hope for the best. It's the best of what we can do right now.
Madison, you have a blend of online classes and in-person classes. How do you feel about that?
So I found that this year, since the end of my grade 12 year got put online, I found that I really got to know how to use the online system. I wish everything was in class, but it is good to know a lot of people I know, all their classes are online. So it's kind of reassuring to know that I'll be able to go into class sometimes and ask the teachers, get to know the teachers, and figure out the material with a hands-on experience.
And Logan, again, for you, a blend of in-class and online, right?
Yeah, well, it's technically a blend, but I'm not taking any in-person courses this year, which is probably a good thing, I think. Rather be safe than sorry, but we'll see how the spring goes.
So this is interesting. You're going to be doing online classes. You've made the decision, though, to make the relatively short drive from home to Mount Allison University. So why go to residence even though your classes are all going to be online?
Well, residence is an experience in and of itself. There's still people there. Like, I can still make all the new friends in the programs that I'm in. There's nothing to say that we can't get together and watch a lecture in a study space together. I can still learn collaboratively, even if it's online. Like, as long as we maintain the safety measures.
Two of you who are heading into campus, Madison and Logan, and Madison, I'll ask you this first. How do you feel in terms of safety when it comes to COVID?
Western's put in some really good protocols. All their international students actually already went there. They're making them do a 2-week quarantine, and then they're all getting tested before the locals come into the school, which is good to know. And throughout the entire school, we have to wear a mask anytime we leave our dorm. So I feel like they are taking the proper safety protocols, but it is still nerve-wracking because it's a big university, and I feel like if one person gets it, it can spread very fast.
And the risk of infection, as you know, can come from, not just international students, but easily from a student who's infected within Canada. It's really easy, it seems, for students to forget to, let's say, keep their distance. Do you worry about that?
Yeah, it's definitely scary. I just need to know, I know what to do, and I know how to keep my distance. And so I feel like if I do what I need to do, I feel like I'm keeping myself safe, and I hope others will do the same.
And Logan, what about you in terms of COVID safety?
The universities have great policies in place. Like I know Mount Allison, international students and students outside of our Atlantic bubble, students outside of those regions have already come to campus and are self-isolating. And in fact, we've had a tested case a couple days ago at Mount Allison University, but I'm really confident that things will be okay.
I guess to all three of you, just, when I spoke to you last, you were looking forward to graduation. Now here you are about to embark on your first year in university. And to the extent that you can speak for your classmates, for, the incoming university class across the country, maybe some last thoughts there. Arshia, let me start with you.
I do think this is a time of uncertainty, and it's very difficult for us to kind of navigate through this because we're not getting that experience that everyone else has gotten in previous years. But I mean, there's also a positive to this. I think online classes could be used to our advantage as well, because you're working on your own schedule now. So I think online classes are good, and I'm just going to stay optimistic and hope for the best.
Madison?
Yeah, so I feel kind of the same as Archia. I feel like it's going to be a new adventure. It's been something that's never been done before. So I feel like our generation is going to learn, and no one really knows how it's going to go because it's never been done. So I feel like it's a good adventure. It's going to build some great character, and I feel like we're going to learn. It's going to be okay. But yeah, I'm excited.
Logan, what about you?
Yeah, like Madison, I'm also lucky, very fortunate. I've got some great ability to live in residence and still be there despite online classes. I think that online classes is a great tool, but it's good to have the in-person element as well to be able to communicate with people and learn collaboratively.
Well, I'll tell you, when I went to university a long, long time ago, I had the same sense of excitement that you guys did, different circumstances, but it's nice to hear that, it seems like you guys feel pretty optimistic. Thanks very much for keeping us updated.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us again.
Good luck.
Thank you.
When we come back, catching waves and changing attitudes.
I've been the only one that I've seen visibly for years, and we thought it'd be great for there to be more than just myself and the few that exist.
How a Nova Scotia surf club is connecting young Black Canadians to the sport.
I'm Josh Block. Tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast Front Burner, as India surpasses 4 million COVID-19 cases, with a record 90,000 on Sunday, a report from On the Ground about why it's still reopening. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
For many Canadians, this long weekend marks the unofficial end of summer. Perhaps one last chance to hit the beach. On a stretch of Nova Scotia coastline, surfing is breaking down barriers. Our Tom Murphy now on how a program promoting inclusion is riding a wave of success.
You got all your boards?
I got all the boards. I got a board for us too. You get suited up. I'll be right there.
You good? Can't wait to do this or what? I'm gonna see you get in there and do your thing.
Tuesdays are the big day.
Matt, are you still in charge of safety?
Oh, you bet, buddy.
Suits on, boards waxed, and some of Atlantic Canada's best surfers
Nice waves.
ready to impart their knowledge of the ocean swells.
Sounds good.
Okay, Superman it. Push towards me.
This is Martinique Beach on Nova Scotia's eastern shore.
This way to the beach.
It's a perfect place to learn the coastal sport for the kids of North Preston. A community close to the province's best surf beaches, but not traditionally part of the surfing community. That's starting to change.
Has anyone here surfed before? No. Has anyone tried it? No. What do you think? Excited? Nervous? Excited. Anyone nervous? It's okay. It's okay to be nervous. Yeah, someone nervous.
An initiative specifically for the kids from the historic Black community of North Preston. The North Preston Surf Program is in its second year.
Our third safety rule. Oh, you open this?
Yeah.
Safety assistant?
Yeah.
How far? What's the distance we want to stay between one another?
8-year-old Cottrell is one of the veteran students.
Because you don't want to get hit by the board.
Boom, exactly. You don't want to get hit by the board. So,
What are you feeling when you're out there surfing?
I feel confident because I know what I can do out there.
And what can you do out there?
I can stand up, I can kneel down, I can jump over big waves. I'm just like the daredevil on the ocean.
It's exactly that kind of excitement that fuels Darrell Borden, one of Nova Scotia's few experienced Black surfers. He's a program director.
I've been the only one that I've seen visibly for years, and we thought it'd be great for there to be more than just myself and the few that exist in the world. I mean, for me, I'm super proud to even just be a part of this program, because the water has the ocean itself has like a transformational thing to it. When you're out there with the kids, there's a whole other complex degree to it that isn't about the surfing, and it's just about the kids being comfortable in who they are and opening up, which is a beautiful thing to see. And the smiles and the joy, and for surfers we call it stoke, and that's, the kids are stoked.
It's hard not to feel stoked just watching. These surfers are hooked. Another morning, not the hot sunny kind. This is North Preston, 40 minutes inland.
Hello, good morning.
Co-founders of the North Preston Surf Program, Lamia Reddick and Beth Amiro, didn't even know each other 2 years ago.
Yeah. All right, let's go. See you guys. Have fun. Oh.
Beth saw a gap in her surf world. So as the head of the local surf association, she reached out to Lamia for her expertise as a resident of North Preston, an advocate for its young people.
My vision is that the young people and the children here in North Preston can go far and wide, and that's certainly what I've been able to do. I've traveled a lot and saw a lot of things in the world, but I always kind of have home to come back to. And so that's what we kind of create. It's like we can meet here and then we can go and explore and do something and then come back home and have like some time to say, how was that?
A simple question that can lead to a critical consideration.
You know, with segregation, with the violent history of crossing the waters of the transatlantic slave trade. So these are really big issues that, you know, we are kind of, with our surf program, overcoming. And we're not actually just talking about that. We're just kind of looking at where we're at now and in some ways healing from that past trauma.
See you at the beach?
Oh, we're like the first ones to be here.
For those kids who don't have a ride, Lamia and Beth give them a lift.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
But 2 years in, the program is becoming more popular. Now even the parents want to go too.
Two communities coming together, I think, accurately describes it. Every week it feels like magic. Just watching all those kids catching waves, watching their parents watch them catch waves.
Go, go, go!
It's something that every child should have access to.
Twyla, we've been shredding from the beginning. She's awesome. It's been like insane watching her kind of progression. We've kind of formed like a really fun team, and she's ripping. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, no, he's good? No! I got him! I got it!
Inevitably, a day of surfing leads to a little time in the sand.
It's been pretty fun. Just playing in the water turns into like you joke around, you find out a lot about each other, and then through surfing alone, like challenges, I know, you become good friends, right? There you go. He said it. He said it.
I'm just really excited for the future and to know that we're doing something like, phenomenal here in the sense of like really changing, a generation of a history.
And the kids? They're just excited about the next wave. Tom Murphy, CBC News, Martinique Beach, Nova Scotia.
I've got to watch that story again. That was fantastic. An endangered killer whale whose story of loss broke hearts around the world has become a mother again. Researchers spotted J35 in U.S. waters near Victoria just yesterday. With her, a calf they believe was born on Friday. 2 years ago, J35 made headlines around the world when she carried a dead calf for 17 days in the Pacific Ocean. A journey scientists labeled as a tour of grief. Her new calf is said to be, quote, healthy and precocious. Up next in our moment, a global pandemic wasn't going to stop a long weekend tradition for the Rough Riders. But first.
14-15. First ace of the match for the Canadian.
That is Denis Shapovalov at the U.S. Open tonight, doing his part in what's been a historic week for Canadian tennis. For the first time, 3 Canadian men made it to the second week of a Grand Slam tournament.
Look at the effort.
Here's Felix Auger-Aliassime yesterday, just 20 years old. He is the youngest player still in this.
You can close it out.
Vasek Pospisil also made the cut.
And a fitting way to end it.
Today, though, top-seeded Serbian player Novak Djokovic was disqualified. That's because he angrily hit a ball that ended up striking a line judge. That could leave the field open to an upset, maybe by a Canadian. Tonight's match definitely nerve-wracking for Canadian fans. This drive-through event should have been celebrating the 56th annual Labor Day Classic matchup between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. For some fans, an essential annual tradition now broken thanks to COVID-19. This year, it's just Gaynor and other team icons and some signed merch handed out at a safe distance. The Saskatchewan government also declaring today Rough Riders Day, but for Rider Nation, there's no way to sugarcoat this. The void is real, it's deep, so we asked some fans to tell us how they filled it and their response. Tonight's moment.
Go Riders, go! Woo-hoo-hoo! All I'm doing today, I'd rather be at the Banjo Bowl. I'd rather be at the Labor Day Classic.
But instead of going to Mosaic Stadium and getting into our season ticket seats, we've come home to watch All In and reminisce about the 2013 Grey Cup win.
Instead of football this long weekend, we are just hanging out as a family missing football.
I'm here with my dinosaurs because I don't want the CFL to go extinct.
It sucks that we can't go to Rider games, but today we're celebrating by going to a drive-through celebration at the stadium with players and giveaways. It's not the same as going to a game, but it's the next best thing.
We drove from Saskatoon to Regina to check out the fan drive-through event. It was awesome.
Go Riders!
Go Riders!
Go Riders, go!
Is there any doubt that Rider fans are the most devoted and colorful in the entire country? And is there any doubt that that's a ridiculous thing for me to say? Because now, of course, there are sports fans for all kinds of other teams who are mad at me. So I'll just have to live with that. That is the National for September the 6th. Good night.